Hello YouTube, it's your boy here, TSP, coming at you again with another video. So I'm in a different location, currently away on a work business trip. But I'm so excited for this upcoming fight between Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones that I just had to make a video on it. So I've been thinking about these fighters. They're the best. They're the top of the game. They're just titans of the light heavyweight class, and there's a lot going on in this fight in terms of their physical abilities. They're both amazing athletes, but the thing that I think distinguishes them is probably going to be their mental game. And so I wanted to take a little bit of time to make a video and talk about who has the mental edge in this matchup. So just thinking about different factors that go into the last fight leading up to this fight. One of the things that I thought was really important, and of course we all do, is that Jon Jones won the first fight. So that's gonna give him a lot of confidence going into the second fight, because he knows I've done it before, I probably can do it again. So on my point scale, I said I'll give him 20 points. Jon Jones has 20 points, 20 mental edge points in terms of this fight. On the other hand, we know that Jon Jones was taking performance enhancing drugs. And even though all of his ability is not based on his use of those drugs, that's got to affect him to some extent. So maybe his stamina may not be what it was before. Maybe just shake some of his confidence. He's still a confident guy, I'm sure, but it's going to have an impact on him. And we don't know how long he was taking performance enhancing drugs. He could have been taking it for quite a while with the new change that came down. So I'm going to take 15 points away from him for that. So it's not going to, it doesn't completely negate the fact that he won and the fact that he is a tremendous talent, but it's definitely an important factor. In terms of Cormier, he's the current champ. He's the current champ, and so that with that, it brings a certain level of confidence that he's going to have. He has fought and won every match that he's had since he lost to Jon Jones, and so that also is going to increase his confidence in his ability as a champ. So he not only feels he's a champ rightfully, but he also wants to maintain that identity as a champ. On the other hand, we know that Jon Jones was a champ until he had that title stripped, I think twice, right? So Jon Jones still probably thinks he's a champ. He said it. He believes he's a champ, and Cormier is not the rightful champ because he never beat Jon Jones. So Jon Jones does believe he is the rightful champ in this matchup. So that's going to give him 5 points. We'll say that he also gets 5 points because in his mind, he probably is rightful champ. And to some extent, some people might agree with him that he is the rightful champ. In terms of the first fight, Cormier, wrestling was one of his big strengths that he supposedly held over Jon Jones. And he was, other than Alexander Gustafsson, he was the only other guy who's taken down Jon Jones. He only took him down once. He wasn't able to control him on the ground, but I'm going to give him a point for that. Just 1 point, one takedown, 1 point. On the other side, we have Jon Jones, who took Cormier down 3, and you can count 4 maybe, but he took him down at least 3 times. So, and that's something that I don't think anybody else had done to Daniel Cormier, if I remember correctly. So that'll give him at least 3 points. So we'll say 3 points for Jon Jones. On top of that, Jon Jones has a little bit of youth. He's youthful. So youthfulness comes with this perception of invincibility and unbeatability, and he hasn't lost. So we'll give him a point for youth. So he's doing pretty well. Cormier, he's had 2 wins over Gustafsson and Rumble Johnson, and so he's fought in the past year, whereas Jon Jones has not fought. So I think Cormier gets another 2 points for that. One thing that I think may be going against Cormier is that there's probably some anger for him. So Jon Jones is often talking about how he's a superior person, superior fighter, and I think that that's going to get underneath Cormier's skin, and to some extent he might be fighting with some anger, and I don't know how Cormier deals with that anger. So that could be something that inhibits him from performing at his highest level of ability, depending on how he uses it. So we will take 1 point away from Cormier for that. On the other hand, Jon Jones has been away from fighting for almost 15 months or so, and ring rust, he doesn't believe in it, but there's still something about that adrenaline dump. Anybody who's ever fought, they know that they get that adrenaline dump, and Jon Jones, he's like Gumpy on steroids, but there's still something to be said for having had a fight recently and stepping in the octagon, being in front of all those millions of people. So we'll take that away from Jon Jones. You know, Cormier is going to be fighting against Jon Jones' range, and that's something, regardless of the fact that Cormier has beaten guys who have pretty much always been longer than him, you know, being a shorter guy in the light heavyweight weight class. That's still something to take away from him. So he's fighting against rangy Jon Jones, who's like fighting dolls him, you know, coming across the freaking screen with those elbows. So we'll take a point away from him for that. And I think lastly, Jon Jones, you know, he's a cocky fighter, but he's amazingly talented. And I'm not the biggest fan of him, but just for that, I'm gonna have to give him a point, because for some reason, fighters that I'm not the biggest fans of, they tend to do well, especially when I'm really down on them. So we'll give him one more point. But anyway, if you enjoyed this review of the potential mental edge for these two fighters, please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more of these, let me know down in the comments. And this is TSB signing out. Hopefully you can make your tomorrow better than today.